Well, it has happened. The Detroit Red Wings, who at the beginning of February were second in the Atlantic Division, third in the Eastern Conference, and seemed like an almost mortal lock to make the playoffs, have now missed the playoffs for the 10th straight year. And in fact, this is the fourth straight year that the Detroit Red Wings were in a playoff position late in February and then failed to make the playoffs. Their record in the month of March over the last 4 years is 31, 46, and 10, which is a 68-point pace over 82 games. Which means over the last 4 years, in the month of March, the Detroit Red Wings are basically the Chicago Blackhawks of this year. With the Sabres having made the playoffs this year, that means that the Red Wings occupy the spot of the longest playoff drought in the NHL, which was officially locked in tonight with their regulation loss to the hapless New Jersey Devils 5-2, a loss which came in Detroit's last home game of the season, during which fans promptly booed them off the ice to end the game. And at some point, we're going to have to do a deeper dive into the entirety of the Yzer plan and why it has failed so spectacularly. Personally, I don't think that there's a way that Stevie Y comes back as GM for the Detroit Red Wings for another year after this level of a collapse. But in the event that he does, it's important to highlight just how badly he botched things this year, trading away an unprotected first-round pick for Justin Falk, who turned out to be one of their worst defensemen down the stretch, and trusting key bottom six minutes to guys like Michael Rasmussen, JT Compher, Andrew Kopp, and James Van Riemsdyk, all of whom faded down the stretch for the Detroit Red Wings. They did get great contributions from guys like Alex DeBrincat and Mo Seider, and Patrick Kane surprisingly put up a great stretch run for the Red Wings, even at age 37, but Dylan Larkin's scoring slowed down ever since the Olympic break, and Lucas Raymond has quietly been very disappointing over the last quarter of the season. So the question has to be asked, what's going to have to change in order to get the Red Wings over the hump after this latest collapse? Remember, the Atlantic Division, while it's getting tough and getting better with Montreal and Boston on the upswing, still has some very dangerous teams who didn't make the playoffs this year. Florida had a ton of injuries throughout the year. They missed out. The Toronto Maple Leafs, a team with two star forwards, could very well quickly retool under new management and with a new coaching staff. Bruins are still quite frisky and have an elite forward in David Pastrnak. Ottawa Senators have a lot of good young players and are in the playoffs this year, and Tampa doesn't look to be going anywhere anytime soon. The Red Wings have some good young players. They don't have a game breaker like a Pastrnak, a Caulfield, or a Kucherov, and their depth has largely failed them over the last few years. I fear that if Detroit doesn't make some big moves this offseason, they're going to be stuck in this quagmire at the bottom of the Atlantic for another few years.